Hi guys, welcome back to Pixie Woo. Today I'm going to film an Eva Green tutorial as the character Vesper from Casino Royale, which is one of my favourite films. I've been doing a little bit of research on it and I watched it last night. It's actually quite hard to get close-ups of this look, so I'm going to do it the best I can. Now, I have to do a little bit of brow remodelling on this one, and I don't expect you to do that also, but it will be quite useful if you have much lower brows, because you'll see the way that I do a smoky eye for lower brows, but I'm going to take my brows out mostly. So some of you might want to skip that step, and some of you might find it interesting just for makeup purposes. I'm going to start with a Pritt Stick, and then I'm going to take a little bit of that glue and push that on the top. That's just going over the brows, just to set them. Don't worry if it makes a little bit of a mess, because we can clean that off. Now, using a little bit of water on my finger, I'm just going to smooth that through, and then I'll probably put another coat on just to make sure that it's really covered. And then with a wipe, whoops, taking out any residue that's kind of over the brow line. Doesn't have to be a wipe, it comes off really well with like eye makeup remover or cotton wool with water on. And then across the top, because otherwise it's going to affect the way that our foundation lies, so we try and get as much of that off as possible. While that's drying, I'm going to put some foundation on. I've got the new YSL one that loads of you have asked me about. This is Le Ton Touche Éclat. I'm going to work that around, avoiding the eyebrows. I do like this foundation, it's really nice. The original makeup artist that did this look on the film and designed it was Melissa Lackerstein. If I find any more information on her, I will put it in the description box so you can check her out yourselves. Next, I'm going to take these bits of brow out. So I've got my Kera mask here. I'm going to work with these. I'm going to mix them up. I have three here. I have light number 13, light number 3 and light number 5. I'm going to mix those in equal parts to get something similar. Now, you don't have to do that. If you've got one that's the right colour, you go with that. I'm just a big fussy madam. And I like to get it as good as I can for you. And blend all the edges. I probably could have got those brows a little bit better, but there we go. Now, this Kera mask is really good if you need to cover anything, like if you have scars. It won't cover keloid, but it will cover any discoloration. So it is very good for that. Now, once I set this with a powder, in a minute, it should be close. It should be less visible, put it that way. I'm not going to set it just yet because I might need to recover that a bit later. We shall see. Depends how much mess I make putting the new brows in. Okay, so new brows. I have got here my MAC brow palette. I'm going to start by using Omega to plot out the brows, and then I'm going to work in some of this colour Brun, and then I shall put in a little bit of Carbon, just to add lots of kind of depth and different colours. Eva Green's brows are actually quite dark, and as you know, mine aren't. So I'll work with Omega just to plot in the new brow shape, and this is the tricky bit. 266 brush, and I'm just going straight across here. Now, the lower I get these brows, the better it's going to look, but it's quite hard for me to do this because it feels very unnatural. So I'm still using my Omega. Just put in the rough colour. And then I'm going to start working in some Brun. So this is my darker colour. I'm doing that in little lines just to create a bit of texture. And then I'm going to take a Carbon eyeshadow, so that's black, and I'm going to work a little bit of that in as well. Now, it's undoubtable I'll come back to that brow and change it a little bit as we go, but I'm going to do the other one for now. And at the end I'll probably come in for a few tweaks and corrections. So always really difficult getting the other one even. I don't think I will be able to do that very well. Not least because my own brows aren't very even anyway. So it is difficult. Right, let's start on the eyes. We can always come back to the brows later. I have here Crystal eyeshadow from MAC, and this is a slightly shimmery, light purpley colour, and that's going just under the brow. Now, if you do have not a lot of space between your brows and your eye, like say someone like Cheryl Cole or Eva Green, then this is a great way to do a smoky look. But while I'm doing this, let's talk about Casino Royale. I love that film. Firstly, I love it because I really like the opening titles. The graphics are awesome. You know, all the cards moving and swirling and turning into blood and stuff. I think that's really cool. And also because I like the title track, because I love Chris Cornell. I love Chris Cornell. So actually I saw Soundgarden on Saturday, which was 2 days ago, and it was awesome. They were wicked. Loved that. Went with my friend Panda. She treated me to a ticket. Thank you, bird. Right, so we've got our purpley highlight. Looks pretty hideous so far. Hopefully I can tie it together. Now, I couldn't find anywhere very close-up shots of this, so I'm kind of doing a little bit of guesswork. Now I have a smolder eyeliner from MAC, and I'm going to put this all over the eyelid. From the lash line upwards. Doesn't matter about being too neat, because we're going to blend it. We want to come out a little here though. I'm going to work it kind of outwards. A little bit upwards, but mostly outwards. Because we don't have a lot of space now between our brow and our lid, we don't want to go up too high, we want to go out. So if you look at someone like Cheryl Cole, you'll see that often that's what she does. If you go up too high, it makes this area, it closes the whole area up. So that we're not doing, we're going outwards. So a little blending required here. Then we're going to take our smolder pencil under the eye. And along the waterline, and right in this inner corner here, I'm going to smudge that as well. This look, by the way, if you haven't figured it out already, is when she has the purple dress on and she first goes into the casino. Don't make it too smoky in here if your eyes are a little bit closer set together, because it won't be so flattering. Outwards here. I couldn't really tell if it was a blue on top of this eyeshadow or a purple, but I like the idea that it was blue because she had a purple dress on, and that would be kind of cool. So I've got like the purple highlight, and now I've got Deep Truth eyeshadow from MAC, which I just had to repurchase because I was about to do my tutorial and I smashed it on the floor. Such is life. Right, so I'm going to work a little bit of this in, just a tiny bit. I'm just using the same old brush that I just used, my blending brush. I'm going to work that in, just over the top. Tiny bit underneath. And I'm going to take a bit of my crystal eyeshadow that I used before and just blend that along the edge of that, so we can just purple it up a little at the edges. Before we come back to the eyebrows, let's get some mascara on. I've got Bourjois Volume Glamour Ultra Black Mascara. I'm going to whack a load of that on, tops and bottoms. I'm using Peach Colour Corrector from Bobbi Brown. That will just brighten me up under the eyes where I'm a little bit blue. These colour correctors are also really good on kind of Indian skin or any skin that goes that little bit greyish tinge under the eyes. These will really brighten you up. Probably the one you would want would be dark peach. Peach or dark peach, depending on your skin tone. Sorry, I'm using light peach. Going to set the whole thing with a blot powder. This one is light, just to make sure it's no shine. It's quite a matte look. Now I'm going to use a tiny little bit of my Ben Nye cream contour. Yes, on top of powder, it's fine. Very, very lightly in here. And then on the cheek, I chose from my MAC palette. There's loads of MAC in this, but actually the original makeup artist used a load of MAC. Frankly Scarlet. Because this is such a strong colour and you'll pick up a lot of it, just make sure you get rid of a lot of it on your hand. We just want that on the cheek there. I'm just going to adjust my brow colour here with a little bit of Studio Fix. Just over the top where it's a little bit light. On the lip, I've chosen to use Half Red from MAC. Now, it's a little bit dark, but it is kind of the right tone, so I'm just going to blend it down. Waikiki from Chanel. It is Aqua Lumiere, I believe. I'm just going to finish off by using my Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil to put a couple of freckles on, because she has quite a few, kind of round up the top here. She's just got these freckles coming through in a kind of, to make her look slightly vulnerable, even though she's kind of quite tough as well. And I love that, I think it's brilliant. I love the scene where she's on the train with James Bond and they've got that great dialogue. I think her accent is excellent. Right, I'm just going to work those into the skin a little. That'll do. Gotta stop somewhere. Just need to block those lips, but still a bit strong. So basically the moral of the story is, if you have a lower brow, blend outwards, don't blend upwards, because blending upwards is going to make this whole area look much darker, and it will shrink that area in the rest of your face. So if you want some ideas, look at people like Cheryl Cole and Eva Green, and they do their makeup kind of similar to that, and that will help, I hope. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.